Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. Today is December 26, 2011. Our last weekly YouTube video for the futures market for this year. Basically, we cover all the commodity futures, metals, natural gas, oil, heating oil, every future product out there on the U.S. side in this video. Before we begin, normal disclaimer, this is for education use only. All charts that you're going to see are from Thinkorswim, from TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com. Here are my contact details here, mpatel at eiicapital.com. You can follow us on Twitter at Ichimoku Trading, or you can basically access our free resources at ichimokutrade.com. Okay, so we got a lot to cover, so let's begin. Let's go over here to Thinkorswim. Remember, left-hand side is basically the daily time frame. Right-hand side is basically the weekly time frame. Okay, so the very first future product we have is cocoa. You can see that basically this is in a bullish trend of both time frames. It's oversold here on the weekly, so you kind of got a pullback that's going on. If you look at the daily, we're kind of at a level right now, but the pullback levels are going to be basically 23.75 and then about 26.16 are the pullback levels. But this thing is a nice bearish trend downwards. Not sure if people have been noticing this one, as this one's been overlooked for a little while, but it's been going down for a while now. Okay, but if you look the last couple of days, it's basically consolidating here, so we may be entering a major pullback soon, but we won't know until we at least get to 23.75. Okay, light sweet crude oil. This is the one everyone loves to talk about here. Let's start off on the weekly time frame. On the weekly, basically we hear nothing's really going on. If you look here, you know, we're just basically in the cloud. 92.81's been a level that we've been able to hold over and over and over, and that's a key level here moving forward for a lot of things. Sorry about that. And then basically, if you look over here, this is the key level here around 102, 143. So we're basically been raging in crude oil for a while now, since probably pretty much since October. Where we're ranging between 82.81 and 102. We really haven't made a commitment to break one or the other at all, but you've been hearing a lot about crude oil in the news, but just be very careful and trading between these two zones. If you're at one of these two levels, then you can make some really good decisions, but between, you're kind of playing a deadly game. You could kind of see that here on the daily time frame. Things are really messed up and just consolidating, but it's consolidating in big wide swings, so be very careful. Cotton, you could see on the weekly time frame, is basically starting a trend. It has not followed through to move at a big percentage movement going down, but we're kind of stabilizing now where we're at. We're kind of at a major resist support level now. As you could see here, 84.27, and that may stop everything here for a while and basically cause a major pullback on the weekly, which will probably start a minor trend on the daily time frame. If you look here, we are bearish right now, but we're basically in a pullback phase. Right now, basically 84.70 is a major resistance level as far as daily is concerned. And we'll see exactly what happens at that level. And then the other one is basically 104.51. If it breaks 104.51, then we're definitely going to enter a major pullback. US dollar, a lot of people have been looking at that. 2 weeks ago, we closed above the cloud for the first time. That was good. We definitely need a pullback. We did a little pullback right now. We're not sure if that's a big enough one, but time will tell. If you look here on the daily time frame, we basically have started a trend to the bullish side, and you know, we're kind of in a minor pullback phase right now. So support level is going to be 79.57, and minor resistance level is going to be 80.48 to start resuming the bullish side. Okay, come back to gold in a minute. Feeder cattle, if you look here, is still bullish trending as far as the weekly is concerned. A little consolidation pattern on the daily, a little big gap up here, so it kind of needs a pullback, but it's starting to get a little ugly now, consolidating here at the top, so be very careful when trying to go bullish. Major support level is going to be 140.60, but I definitely wouldn't try to go bullish anymore in that one. Lean hogs is the opposite of feeder cattle, so this would kind of be a good pairs trade. You could see here it's kind of hanging around in the cloud, kind of stuck here at the support level at 84. 84.119, really not doing anything until it breaks that level there. And you could see on the daily time frame it kind of setting up for a bearish trend. If it could break the 84.11, then we're going to sit there and start a nice trendward down movement where we have a possibility of getting to 80 and then maybe to 65. So watch out for lean hogs. Definitely a good one to look at. Then you could probably do a pairs trade where you go long feeder cattle and go short the lean hogs. Copper, it's always in the news for some reason. I don't know why. Daily time frame, we're really doing nothing. We're just consolidating back and forth, back and forth. You can see the downward move, and then we've just been doing this big consolidation pattern with bigger swings. Now the swings are getting smaller and smaller, getting tighter and tighter. And you could see that from the weekly time frame too. We're kind of at a minor support resistance level right now. 3.767 is a major resistance level moving forward. Heating oil. If you look at heating oil, as far as the weekly is concerned, nothing really going on right now. Still tilted towards the bullish side, but anything can happen really, because this cloud's so thick. So you could sit there and traverse this whole cloud and get down to 2.6336, and that's a pretty big move for as far as heating oil is concerned. If you look at the daily time frame, we're at a major resistance level right now. If it breaks that one, the next one's going to be 2.9486, and then it's got support levels is 2.8553 and 2.8. So those are the two levels that it's got to break and trying to move forward to go down. Okay, but definitely watch that one now because it's at a major resistance level. Coffee, if you look at coffee, last 2 weeks ago we basically closed below the cloud, so that turned the sentiment finally bearish. You could see this huge move up, so this is a major pullback that's going on now. It could be a trend reversal, but we won't know until we get some confirmation. If you look at the daily time frame, this thing is starting to set up to a bearish trend and sit there and can break it. So if this thing could sit there and break 210, this thing's going to start going lower, go back to 200 at least, and then maybe sit there and start moving down to a lot lower level. But this thing has gone up drastically, you could see here, and does have a potential coming all the way down into the 150 levels. So we'll definitely watch for coffee to come down and on the trend for that one. Lumber, really nothing going on as far as daily or weekly is concerned. And then last meat, a future is live cattle. If you look here, is definitely like feeder cattle is bullish trending, but consolidating here at the top now where nothing's really going on here. Feeder cattle is probably still stronger than live cattle here. But you could see both of them are very, very similar. So if you're trying to find two similar pairs trade, you could probably go long feeder cattle and short live cattle with small percentages. But lean hogs is definitely the bearish one for all three of them. Okay, natural gas. If you look at natural gas here, definitely bearish trending as far as the weekly is concerned. Kind of getting into a little oversold situation, but not quite yet. And you could see that basically from the daily time frame too, we're basically bearish. So you could see that this is basically nice opportunity to short here. Opportunity was right here, but now it's basically gone. But definitely want to enter short at this level here because this thing is getting to a little oversold scenario. But believe it or not, it can sit there, go all the way down here at the 2.571. So that's a huge movement down. It does have a potential going down too, and a daily's kind of set up for it too. So if you want to kind of make some calculate your reward risk ratio and trying to go down there, you can. But be careful here. Resistance levels we're at a minor resistance level right now. A major one's going to be 3.385. Frozen concentrated orange juice, really nothing going on at all. Major support level here at 165.69. If it breaks that, then this thing does have a potential going down to 150. So definitely look out for that one moving forward. Palladium, if you look at it, sentiment is bullish here on the daily time frame. Really means nothing at all because if you look at the weekly, we're basically in the cloud, nothing going on at all. This thing's got to break 692.60 to even start a bullish trend as far as the week daily is concerned. And if it gets below 575, then this thing, 560, then this thing's going to start a bearish trend to the downside very heavily. So it'll be interesting to watch. Platinum, different scenario altogether. If you look at the weekly time frame, basically it is in a bearish trend right now. A little kind of oversold a little, but not much as far as the weekly is concerned. If you look at the daily time frame, we're at a minor resistance level right now. The 1484 is a major resistance level there, but this thing is bearish trending, and this is kind of at a key level right now. So if it could hold at this level here, then this thing's going to probably start to tank some more. We already covered natural gas. Let's go to gasoline. Okay, if you look at gasoline, we basically are in the cloud, so nothing really going on. We're consolidating. Over here, we'll reach the top of the cloud here, which is right here at this 1.6926, which is a major resistance level as far as gasoline is concerned. We got to really sit there and break above 280 to even start looking at a bullish trend above this thing. 281 to start looking at a bullish trend. If this thing gets below $2.58, then we do have a potential starting a trend to the downside. So watch out for that. Sugar, really. If you look at sugar on the weekly time frame here, basically, we are going downwards right now. We haven't started a trend right now. We're just kind of consolidating here a little, but any push would down below about 22 is going to start a trend to the downside. But if you look at the daily time frame, basically it shows you that we got oversold. So now we're due for a major pullback as far as daily is concerned. Resistance level is going to be 25.49, and then support level is going to be around 22. Silver, and let's just go through the mini silvers and mini golds. Let's go for mini gold first. Mini gold, everyone's been looking at gold. If you look at gold, basically, here's the pattern on the weekly, and you got to make sure you understand this so you don't get into the hype. This has been a major upward movement, okay, ever since it broke 1,000 back in basically 2009, 2009. This thing's been on a tear going up. It's never had a major pullback, and it's basically undergoing a major pullback right now. So if you look at a long-term picture, the sentiment for gold is still bullish, okay? However, because it's still above the cloud on the weekly. However, we have engaged in a major pullback, and we're kind of doing a major pullback / a little consolidation right now. So really nothing going on at all. Okay, so you just got to be patient if you're bullish in the bullish camp for this thing to kind of see exactly what it's going to do. But we really are still entering its pullback phase, and really nothing going on. Now, if it gets below the cloud, then things can change, but it's not doing that right now. If you look at the basically daily time frame, basically movement down, we had a pullback, and now what kind of key is that we break this about 1550 level to sit there and enter a trend as far as daily is concerned. Resistance levels, we're kind of at a minor resistance level right now at 1608. The major resistance level is going to be 1665. Okay, if this thing gets above 1700, then this thing can sit there and start resuming to the bullish side, but right now it's kind of right at where it's at. Okay, silver, if you look at the silver level, it is below the cloud, which is kind of dangerous now because that means the bullish trend is over. But it's not really over until it could sit there and break. It says 26 here, but I'm just gonna say 25, kind of an even number because a lot of people look at even numbers. If this thing breaks below 25, then this thing's gonna sit there and pretty much enter a consolidation period, or have the ability to go down even lower, and maybe even get back to this where this started off at 20. It's got to sit there and start moving up. If it doesn't, this thing's in danger to breaking down completely. If you look at the daily time frame here, this is starting a bearish trend to the downside. Minor resistance levels are 29.57, and major resistance level is going to be 30.92. So if silver was going to resume, it should have sat there and resumed when it got to 35.20 and started making its way back up to 40 and above that. But right now it doesn't look like that it's going to do that at all. The trend is downside on the daily, and it looks like it's going to try to resume that and may even try to get to 25.20. So be very careful if you're in silver to the bullish side. 30-year Treasury bonds. If you look at the the weekly time frame, we are bullish. We're kind of consolidating right around there. Minor resistance level is going to be 141,11. Major resistance level is going to be around 134 even. If you look at the daily time frame, really nothing going on at all there. Corn. If you look at corn, basically in the clouds are consolidating on the weekly time frame. Sorry, daily time frame would basically be consolidating, but it is trying to set up for a bullish minor little run. The key level of support is going to be basically 600, and the resistance level is going to be basically right around where we're at right now. But I would probably say give it about 630 for a resistance level. 5-year Treasury bonds, basically bullish trending as far as the weekly is concerned, but consolidating here at the top. And if you look at the daily, we're just doing nothing at all. So this is not even an opportunity there. Soybean oil, no opportunity there, which is consolidating on daily and weekly. Soybean meal. If you look at soybean meal, look at this one. This one's been going down here. And if you look at it, right, this has been starting basically a bearish trend to the downside. We're at a minor resistance level right now, around 300 as far as the weekly is concerned. And you could see that on the daily time frame where basically we're going down. We kind of went above here, the green line, we stopped, and now we're kind of at a key level here, which is right around 300. If we could break 300, then we basically have a potential of starting a bullish trend here, but I'll be very, very careful on doing anything right now with this one. It's got to sit there and show itself to a certain extent, but the weekly definitely got into a very big oversold scenario. It definitely needs a pullback. Ideally, the pullback level, believe it or not, is way up there at 332. So it's going to be interesting to see. But this could start a trend to the bullish side to 332. But it will be interesting to see. But I definitely stay away from that for right now. Oats. If you look at oats, really nothing going on here. This is starting to set up for a bearish trend. It's at a minor resistance level here. If it could hold here, this thing does have a potential of starting a trend. If it could break 280, then we're going to start a trend, definitely going downwards. But the major resistance level is going to be around 340. Soybean futures. Looks like it's trying to set up a trend right now to the bearish side. We're at a minor resistance level right now, 1163. Major is going to be at 1279, and you could see that we're just basically downward consolidating. We're entering a pullback as far as daily is concerned. And lastly, wheat. Wheat is basically had a chance to start following through here and start a bearish trend, but it never did that. Went back above. It's kind of at a minor resistance level at 621 right now, and kind of consolidating. So really, no opportunity there until it breaks 580 to the downside and 691 to the top side. That's it for this week for the futures. If you have any questions, you could email me here, and then see you next week.